Hello, everyone. Good morning or good afternoon, wherever you are joining us from. My name is Tami, and I'm super excited to have all of us join today. How we are doing this morning? Okay, it's afternoon rather. How we are doing this afternoon? And Happy New Week, everyone. We are having an amazing guest join us today, and that is Antonio. He's a B2B sales marketing professional. How are you doing, Antonio?
I am great. And how are you today? And lovely audience, good day to you all as well.
Yeah, good day. Hello, Glory. Welcome for joining. Thank you, Dr. Doka. Thank you, Fumi. Thank you, Aki. Thank you, Kate. Thank you, Stephen. Thank you, Funcho. Thank you, Mr. Akin today, Mr. Daniel. A lot of people joining us today. And hope you're having an amazing week. I pray that this week will bring us joy, happiness, gladness. Before we even go down to the conversation for today, just to ask few people, how is your week starting out? Are you enjoying the week so far? Because this is Tuesday. This is Monday, so officially the week starts on Sunday. So have you been having an amazing week? So let's hear from the audience before we go back to the conversation. Good morning, Mamodu. Okay. I'll just bring some people on board today. Hello, Daniel.
Hi, good morning to you.
Yeah, good afternoon from my end. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah, same here. I think this is my first time doing an audio event on a Monday, and a lot of people are joining, which is really amazing. Is it also, how's your day going? How's your week been so far?
Okay, my day has been pretty slow because I kind of had a very short night, so it's kind of dulling my whole day. But everything is going pretty well so far.
Awesome. So what do you expect to gain from this conversation?
At least I want to be able to know how to build, my personal brand, even as a sales professional. Even though I'm not a sales professional, but everybody needs to know how to sell. So that's why I'm here.
Awesome. Thank you, and I hope you get to enjoy the event. And remember to stay tuned till the end. So let's go on to Glory. Hi, Glory. How are you doing this morning or this afternoon?
Hi, Dami. Good afternoon. I'm Glory. I'm joining you from Nairobi, Kenya. It's almost evening here. It's at 3 p.m. So I'm doing pretty well. I've had an amazing day. I'm in a period where I'm finding my footing here on LinkedIn and how I need my personal brand to be. And today I've had several calls. So that has been good. And I look forward to learning the psychology of selling mostly. Selling without really selling people off, that.
Awesome.
Yeah, so
same here. And Antonio has a lot for us today because he's an expert. And I can really relate with trying to sell and not being salesy because I myself trying to sell and market what I do. I realized that trying to bombard people with emails all the time can be very frustrating. I mean, I wake up every day to see countless amounts of messages from people introducing their product and services to telling me to schedule a free call. And then at the end of the day, they get to sell to me. So I quite understand. Let's go on to Taye. How are you doing, Taye? Okay, can we have...
Hi.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so how are you doing today?
I'm well. I'm very fine. Thank you.
Awesome. So how's your week going as well? Any plans for the week?
Yeah, it's going fine. My plans for the week is actually to take, LinkedIn by storm. Love LinkedIn so that LinkedIn can love me back. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, before we go on to... Okay, let's have Mahmoud. I hope I got your name right. How are you doing today, sir? Can you hear? Okay, he's not there. So over to you, Antonio, before we have other people join us. Can you just introduce yourself to our guests, to our amazing listeners, please? What time is it over there?
Right now, it's 8:07 a.m.
Imagine, so I woke you up from your sleep. Thank you for agreeing to do this with me.
problem.
And I hope other people get to learn as well. And before we continue, this podcast is currently recording. So before Wednesday, it's going to be out on my podcast channel. That's the DFY show. So if you want to listen again and also listen to yourself speak, you can just head on to my podcast channel at the DFY show and show you follow so that you can get notified. And also, I will be sharing it in my newsletter so that you can get access to it in case you have forgotten. And please use this medium to connect with other people. What I used to do when I attend other people audio events is I have a draft. So, for example, just put in like a few texts to say, hi, my name is so. I'm currently attending this person's audio event and I see you're there. I would love to connect and build relationships because it's easier for people to know where you're connecting from as against you just sending random connections. So because they might not want to answer you. Also, I have a lot of things that I'm going to be sharing with us, but let's just keep the things for later. So, Antonio, talking about sales professionals and marketing, I know that you're one expert because I had a conversation with you some weeks back and I still have that conversation saved in my memory. What do you think people are doing wrong? Let's just start with that before we now come to the proper introduction of yourself. What do you think people are doing wrong these days in terms of selling to people?
Well, I am a sales and marketing LinkedIn coach. I coach more the B2B space than the B2C. Reason being is that I think that everybody time is valuable and it's a bit challenging to focus on one person when I could focus on coaching a company that may have 50 to 100 persons. And preparation is key. So the time that I need to prepare, it's like if next Monday it's a coaching session that I have with the company, I would need this entire week to prepare because the whole idea is to give valuable information. So what a lot of people are doing wrong presently is that they are not taking the time to understand that the connections that we have and trying to put out content specific to their niche market so that persons now can be intrigued by their content and may want to reach out to them inbound rather than a lot of outbound that someone's may do, and it may be more salesy than anything. So LinkedIn is a connection platform that helps us individuals to connect with persons on a professional level. But when we connect with persons, we have to understand that the sale don't happen the first message. It takes sometimes a couple back and forth messaging to understand if it is that what you have to offer would really be something valuable to the other person. And if not, you just build that relationship on a way that you're not selling to them, but genuine, and you move on to someone else who may want your service. So I think that a lot of persons getting that wrong and think that they should connect with someone, and if someone says, hey, I like your content, you now feel privileged to want to sell to them. And it's not necessarily so. Sometimes we may have something that we think valuable, but it may not be to that specific person. So that's why we must always understand who are our target audience. Who are you targeting? You cannot target everyone on LinkedIn. You have to put out a specific target audience, whether it be by demographic, whether it be by age, whether it be by company size, whether it be by a prospect persona, because sometimes it have prospects who their persona is not that friendly, it's arrogant, they ask a lot of questions, so you have to know who are the persona of persons that you want to connect with, and that's why Sales Navigator is so beneficial. Some people may think it's expensive, but it gives you that infinite information, that intelligence, real-time data that you could understand who you're targeting, what companies, who are the decision makers in that organization, and give you some sort of homework so that you could prepare beforehand before you reach out to someone, because you don't want to connect with someone and you do not understand their company, what they do, and also do not understand them as an individual. So that is where I see a lot of persons go wrong. And I think that if it is that we take time and try to focus on building meaningful relationships, we could be able to be closer to really helping someone. So eliminate the word sale and implement the word help.
Interesting. Thank you so much for that. And yesterday I was reading a book, same going to what you said about niching down and having your ideal prospect, because it's not everybody that is going to buy from you. And also you trying to balance that part of you selling to people and also you trying to create relationship. I think there is a thin line and we all need to be very careful of that. But before I continue, so you've done a little bit introduction about yourself, which is to say that you deal more with, you're a LinkedIn and sales marketing professional as a coach, but you deal more with B2B rather than B2C. And then over the course of the month, you also visited LinkedIn, and just for us to have a little bit of information about that. And once again, congratulations. So for people that don't know, Antonio was recently invited by LinkedIn to talk about how Caribbeans can benefit strictly from the platform. So just tell us a little bit about your experience there.
Okay, so the visit to LinkedIn office Empire State Building in New York, it was really hard to welcoming. What I noticed as a Caribbean professional in the sales and marketing space is that we are limited. For example, it had a program that LinkedIn is offering content creators 15,000 US so that they now could fund themselves in bettering them content creation, whether it be equipment, training, so forth. And the Caribbean region wasn't given that eligibility. And I reached out to LinkedIn and I asked, why is that so? And they could not give me a good response because they focus more on international countries, because LinkedIn head office is in California, Silicon Valley to be exact. And that what made me got a bit, I would say, furious to understand as to why it is that we are being left out. So that was the reason for me persuading them to visit the office, to have a conversation with whoever is in charge, to focus on the other countries, because we are people and we want to be equal as well. So based on the visit, the idea is to really focus on the Caribbean and help out those who may not be getting the benefit, because everybody looks at the US, at Canada, at the UK, those international countries as the top countries that you want to go and work in, and then you want to connect with these persons. But it have persons who in the Caribbean, who in African countries, who are doing extremely well, but they are not getting the recognition that they deserve. And this is something that is disheartening to know. So I see a lot of persons, they reach out to me and ask the question, how it is do someone go to the US and get a work or get an opportunity virtually. But the thing about it is that we feel despondent because we see what is happening, and then some people may say that you need to just keep on pushing. Yes, that is true, but if it is you keep on pushing and you do not have any guidance, you do not have a strategic direction in place, then after you could be just pushing and not making any headway. So the agenda that I set out to do in terms of LinkedIn is really to focus on workshops, to focus on letting persons really understand how to navigate the platform. I even have a opportunity right now in Trinidad to work at the university to really focus on doing group training to students who may come out with their bachelor's, their master's degree, because having that is great. But then after, if you don't have a network base, how would you get that job opportunity? Because no one wants to hire someone who do not have the experience. Yes, you may have the paper behind your name, but the experience is most important. So it's a lot to do. At the end of the day, it wouldn't happen, within this year. It may take some time, but I would attest that presently, I know you all know the same thing too. We are being left out and we feel that we are being untreated. And it's something really, it hurts my soul to know, that it's happening. Lincoln have a lot of opportunities, yes, but some people, when they see where you're located, they automatically decline you, and it's not professional.
Interesting. Now, coming from what you said about B2B, because, while we are talking about the branding side and you're mentioning that, okay, sometimes people, maybe Africans or Caribbeans, we are being left out in terms of how to navigate the platform well. And you being a coach and someone that goes into B2B, there are a lot of people on this call that are probably starting their business first, or maybe starting their business as a newbie, or some of them are into business already, or some of them are trying to level up their sales, because selling to B2B, B2C, which is business to consumer, can be easy, but sometimes when you look at the cost and the profit ratio, you might not get as much as you want as compared to selling to B2B. But then, when you're now looking at selling to B2B, because of the management, because of how decision making takes time, it might be difficult to really navigate how to sell yourself and also how to get the results that you need. So when we now talk about selling yourself to B2B, to a business, how do you do that? Say, for example, I do personal branding and I have a company, and now rather than just selling only to B2C by selling of my materials, I really want to go deep into business. What's the best approach? Do you have to do the normal way of sending emails to say that, okay, this is my service, and hopefully if they like what you do, they get back to you, and if they don't get back to you? What is the best approach in terms of selling what you have to offer to a B2B company?
Visibility is extremely important. You want to be visible not just in person, but you want to be visual virtually. Yes, we know LinkedIn is the best B2B platform there is, but we have to take in consideration that it have other platforms as well. And the idea that I tell a lot of persons to do, to not feel overwhelmed, is to repurpose content. For example, we'll have buyers who on Instagram but not on LinkedIn, who will be on Facebook but not on LinkedIn, who will be on TikTok but not on LinkedIn, and so forth. So what you want to do is to really put yourself on the social media platforms there is, and you want to basically repurpose your content so you wouldn't feel overwhelmed. That is one. And next thing is that cold calling, some people say is dead, but it's still relevant. Cold emailing, not everyone likes that, because these days people afraid to click on something, especially if it is your cold email have a link. No one wants to click on that, and then after it's some spam or something like that. So you want to focus on getting those numbers in, those phone contacts, and you want to reach out and just let persons know what services or what products that you sell. The idea is not to sell to anyone at the moment, but the idea is to build that personal brand, that visibility. Let people know who you are. And when you do that, then after people know who you are, you provide consistent content. So it may have a content or two that may resonate with someone, and because initially you had let people know who you are, they may want to reach out to you, and that's how business grow. The whole idea is to get those connections in and to nurture those connections genuinely and not try to sell to them instantly. A lot of persons try the quick rich scheme, which is try to sell to someone in the shortest possible time, and it don't necessarily work out because people want to buy, but they do not want to be sold to instantly. And I think that is a problem that a lot of persons do not get. You want to eliminate the word sell, but implement the word help. So when it is that you let persons know what you do, and then you provide content, knowing the problems that people face based on trying to understand the market and seeing what are the issues that being present right now, you provide that consistent content, it may resonate with someone or two or much more, and they will reach out to you. And then from there, then you could build yourself by reaching out, outreach messaging, and so forth. But it's a step-by-step process where you have to provide yourself with a template that you have an idea as to the first message, what it should be, the second and third, because sometimes you take up to 7 to 8 follow-ups in order to actually land a sale. Don't try to sell within the first or second message. And that is a big problem I see happening on LinkedIn.
I think I'm also guilty of that. Okay, if you're just joining us once again, my name is Damilola, and we are having the conversation on personal branding for sales professionals. And thank you everyone for joining. It's been an amazing 26 minutes so far. If you would like to join the conversation, please do raise your hand and I will bring you on board. And so far, let me just give you a recap of what we've spoken about. So Mr. Antonio yes said that sales does not happen in the first message. So rather than you trying to sell to people immediately, try to build a relationship first, because a lot of people get turned off. He also spoke about visibility. For you to make sales, especially online or also in person, you have to be very visible and learn how to repurpose your content. So for example, if you have, let's say, a message you want to share, you can try to use it on LinkedIn, make it shorter, put it on Twitter or that's X. Try to also convert it to Instagram, and depending on the platform that you feel comfortable with, just try as much as possible to be visible. Also, he made mention of cold calling can also work, and rather than you just sending cold emailing, because a lot of people are very skeptical about clicking on links, so you can try different methods as well. Then he also made mention that people want to buy, but they don't want to be sold to instantly, so you need to understand that sales take time. Before I take Michael, Frederick, and Abdi, just want to ask one question. Now, you made mention of the fact that when we want to sell, selling takes time. So if somebody has, or if somebody wants to see starting a business and the business is just all the person has, he or she doesn't have so much money to do marketing, and the person is just relying on social media to build his or her business. If you're into services like consulting, like coaching, that don't sell to people, what if that person does not have that strength to wait because he or she income is depending on selling to people? How should the person do this? Should that person have enough money in stock to be able to take care of him or herself pending the time that the person closes sale?
Not everybody is cut out for sales. I always say that sales is a skill set. It's something that you can develop as time go by, but in essence, if it is that you do not like to speak with people, then sales may not be the profession for you. It have some persons, they are very timid. They do not like to speak to persons. They always keep to themselves. You give them a cubicle with a computer, they will sit there and they will do all the necessary work that you set them out to do. But to let them have a conversation with someone on the phone or to meet clients who may be coming into the business place, they may not be inclined to do that. So that's something that if you are not a person, do not like to speak to persons, always keep into yourself, it may not be the profession for you. But everyone needs to learn how to sell. Why is that? Because you sell yourself in the interview process. to the interviewer as to why you are the best candidate for the job. You sell yourself to your children as to why they should get an education, why each morning that they should make up their bread and pray, which is very important. And this is something that I'm not sure if much persons understand. Some people have the interpretation that salespeople are the worst people they are, but then again, not understanding that you are selling yourself every day and you unknowingly don't know that. So it's something that we really have to develop as individuals. We see so many persons who, have their degree, have their masters in all different fields of study, but when it comes to trying to sell themselves, they really cannot do that. And that's why I always persuade everyone to learn how to sell, because it will effectively help you in the future. Imagine if today or tomorrow you become bankrupt, but you have that skill set as to sell. You will be able to reach back up some level by selling something, whether it be you going to sell insurance, whether it is you going to maybe sell anything. There is a company offering an opportunity in sales, but you have that skill set, so you are able now to sell yourself, to sell that product, sell that service. So it's a skill that everyone, despite whatever your profession may be, you need to learn how to sell.
Preston, yeah, you have it, people. Learn how to sell. Even though it's hard, but we still need to learn how to sell. And then we're still going to come back to this in a minute. But let me just have Frederick speak. Hi, Frederick.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, better now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I had some connection problem, but I thank God now I can connect.
So may I know where you're joining us from?
Yes, that's why I'm going.
Okay.
My name is Frederick Boreithi. I am in Meru, Kenya. That's eastern of Kenya. I focus mostly in marketing, and I want to point out the things Antonio has said. We are probably sidelined to opportunities when they come along, especially when they see where you come from. And I think I think we should connect as from people from this end, and try to ensure that we are positioning ourselves on the right way. Having said that, I would also want to point out, because I'm more in marketing, there is this what we call B2B marketing, where you focus more on marketing to the business to business, unlike business to consumer marketing. I think B2B marketing, it's more based on ROI, that's return on investment, unlike when you're targeting consumers, which really you don't have a focus on return on revenue. So I think to add on what Antonio has said, it's a good strategy when, especially for marketers like me and everyone, to understand who are you marketing to. And talking this, especially, I am more on tech, where you're marketing to maybe a software as a service, to subscription, security solutions, tools, accessories, office supplies, you name it. When you're doing that, I think you should have whom are you targeting? Who is the decision maker? And when I'm talking that, it's when you're talking to, I'm talking about business to business marketing, unlike when you're targeting B2C. So I think really it's more when you know who is the decision maker, and you clearly understand what these your marketing efforts will bring to the organization. Yes, and I think that's what I need to emphasize this evening. I think I can see. Yeah, it's already a few minutes to 4 p.m. So I think I'll be okay to say it's evening. And
okay, yeah. May I ask a question, if that's okay?
Yes, please.
Okay, so you made mention of the fact that you are into IT and then you sell some of these IT tools. Can you just give the whole room a scenario on how you get your clients so that we can just have a broader perspective, and people that are into business can also be able to learn a few things and a few tricks on how they can get clients as well.
Absolutely. I think when like you're dealing with tech business, it's usually you have to have a clear roadmap as to what this product is going to help the pain points of the targeted customer. So in this sense, you're targeting a company like I do with cybersecurity solutions, and you need to have a clear roadmap of what are you going to bring, what is the product going to do different to the customer. I don't know if I have answered my question the way you.
So does that have to do, because I remember when I was still doing an IT with a tech solution company, and obviously I was an intern, and sometimes we do go to client office. We were into Microsoft 365 Dynamics, that's selling of Microsoft products, because we had a license. And what we used to do then was we would go to a client's office, sell our service, but that is because we already have the lead. And I don't know how my boss gets to do it, but he usually gets some of these people to sell his product to, and over time they get to buy from him. But what is that phase of trying to even get the customer? So do you get your clients through maybe marketing, or maybe referrals, or maybe going to a networking event? How do you even get that client before you even start talking about your product or your service?
Oh, exactly. That's a good question. Really, number one, you have to know where your customer is. So if your customer, the customer you're targeting, now I'm talking in terms of your customer is not in the same location you are, then you need to have, you have to do ads. I usually use Facebook ads to target them, according to their needs. That's one. Two, if the customer like now is physical in Nairobi, Kenya, in Meru or wherever, or Kampala, the countries around, usually I like to have those seminars, attending seminars, those seminars which are targeting IT. And again, also, I cannot underscore the fact that referrals are also very key, because if you sell something to a customer and he has good feedback, he or she has good feedback, definitely that's a plus. You don't have to work so much to convince that customer. So I think it's across, and it depends with where you are at the funnel. What I mean about the funnel is where are you introducing that product? What strategies are you going to use on the top of the funnel, in the middle of the funnel, and the downside of the funnel? So it all goes back to your strategies, how you establish them, and really. I think also you need networking. Networking also is key, and I like the LinkedIn platform because you're able to link to network. You're able to reach out to people, and when you target those people whom you have the same product or profession, definitely you have good results.
Awesome. That's really beautiful. Thank you so much, Mr. Frederick, for your contribution. Fantastic. So, recap of what Mr. Frederick said: Facebook ads, referrals, attending events, networking, and ensuring that if you're selling to B2B, you need to let them know what their return on investment would be, because theirs is based on return on investment. What are they going to get from your service? What makes you different from other people? And sometimes it takes time for you to get that answer, but with trials and errors, you would get your result. So back to you, Antonio, following what Frederick said. Now, he made mention of different kind of ways we can get our leads. So coming back to LinkedIn, do you think it's a wise decision to just make LinkedIn your sole place of getting your clients, or do you think that it's just better to spread your net wide?
how I will put it across is that, for example, you go to a shop, and in that shop, it only have Coca-Cola, and they don't have no snacks. It don't have anything else. And you go to other shop, and you could get everything there. It's a variety shop. Definitely spreading your wings is most important, because just focusing on LinkedIn, and then, for example, God forbid, something happens and LinkedIn crashes for 1 month. You essentially out of business, because you may have some conversations with some potential clients and you were supposed to close them in a week or two. And because LinkedIn crashes and you put all your emphasis on that one platform, you cannot make any money. So that's why it's essential to have your website, because your website is your intellectual property. You basically own your website because that's you. And you utilize other platforms as well. Having your podcast is important because people could connect with you from your podcast by providing your email, contact, phone number. The whole idea is that LinkedIn is awesome. It's a tool for business professionals, sales professionals, and any other persons in different professions that they may be in. But we have to understand that our IP, intellectual property, is something that we should own, because we don't know what could happen today or tomorrow, right? We are seeing, like, for example, Mark Zuckerberg, owner of Facebook, he has in the process of constructing a bunker, because, for example, we don't know if something going to happen major, and he is planning to have a bunker to live underground for a period of time until whatever it is passes, So we have to take in consideration that things could happen. The life that we live is ever changing, and LinkedIn could be here today, and some other day it don't want to be here. So what we will do, we will spread our wings and focus on other platforms and create our own intellectual property as well. Own it. That's the message of the day. Own
Awesome.
your content, own your expertise.
Interesting. Own your content, own your expertise. Now, before we come back to you, Antonio, please help us with the answer to this question, which is 5 tips to know how to sell. We're going to come back to answer that question. But before we go to that, let's have Amos, and then we have Steve, Ibrahim, and then we have Sam as well, and Mukhtar. Once again, if you're just joining the conversation, we are having personal branding for sales professionals, and it's been an amazing event. And if you're just joining us, welcome. If you're about to leave, we're sad to let you go, but you can always join the rest of the conversation or have a replay on my podcast, which will be out. That's the replay of this event in about 2 days. And kindly connect with me if you haven't done so that I can be able to add you to the connection, and you can be able to see the newsletter, which is to remind you or to give you the link to where you can have the replay in your inbox. So thank you, everyone. So over to you, Amos.
Hello, good morning.
Hi, good morning. Where are you joining us from?
I'm joining from Indianapolis, United States.
Nice. Good. That's morning over there, I believe.
Yeah, it's 7:48 a.m. here.
Okay, so it's a good way to start your morning.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for having me. I know I'll be in and out because actually I was at the gym this morning when I see this, and I just jump in right now. So I think having a sales strategy just on my own book is first and foremost, personal branding is unique to the successful of your personal sales or the business as well. Because if you know how to market yourself, and you have a good business strategy to be able to back that up, that will go a long way. Also, what I would take as my own submission as well is you can market to someone, whether by cold calling or by in person, without having a basic understanding of the customer's need or the company or any organization you want to sell to or individual. And because that is the key to this, to the main thing, because a lot of customers or organizations want to understand what is in this for me, what is in it for me. If they can't really phantom or be able to identify that little phrase or question that could come into their mind, they just believe that you're one of those people who just want to come to their their vicinity or their home to take away their money without really explaining or understand your product. I've been in sales for quite a while, both outside sales and also in home improvement as well. Because when you have a good a self branding, people tend to listen to you more. I remember when I was in in retail, in the big box retail, and I wasn't even the general manager, but guess what? The way I carry myself, the way I approach my customers, both inside the store, also outside the store as well, truly, really, really set a tone, set a different side of the business that I know what I'm talking about. I understand my business, and because a lot of questions could come up during that time. But the personal branding and also to understand, I don't want, think it was a gentleman who mentioned earlier that who would be the decision maker. Those are the pre-work a salesman and woman should do prior to actually marketing or approach anyone or any company about their sales. You do your pre-work about what do they need and who could be the potential decision maker to really, really make that happen. From there, it's very easy. Law will fall in place. You will even be surprised how and how those sales could start turning in real quickly and you start getting your return on investment. That's just my submission this morning. If you have any questions.
Yeah, I do have a question. Now, for people that are not very confident in cold calling, I remember when I was still in the university days and I had a book from Brian Tracy talking about how to sell. And then he also made mention of cold calling. Can you give us like a template on how to go about it? Say, for example, you are into a service. Sometimes it's easier to sell a physical product because it's something that people can see. It's something that people can test before they buy. But when it comes to service, it's an intangible. You can't see it. So let's just act a little bit of drama right now. Let's say the company you're calling and you are the marketer or the sales professional. How would you go about it?
So first and foremost, you can't do a cold calling without having a business history with such person, or you can also do a cold calling just based on the needs and how the need come about, or what you know about that individual or company. Like I said earlier, if you understand their need, it will be very easy for you to really go as a salesperson. It will be very good for you to navigate and actually know how to carry on the conversation. And so if you're not confident in making those cold calling or anything, but first and foremost, what type of role play do you play with yourself, also with someone who was in that role, who is in that role currently, that you can actually shadow, that will give you some tips and information about how to really go about that, because it's about, when you having those type of conversation, it's one thing what type of question you asking to uncover any underlying question, any underlying question the customer that could pop out during the cold calling, because like I said, understanding a basic knowledge about that person's need will really help you go a long way in making those sales, because there's been instances where I personally went out with my team, a team of sales, about 2 or 3 of them, and we were trying to market a warranty to the customer. This was when I was in big box. So again, warranty is an addition to what the customer already purchased. So yes, they purchased the product that costs about $3,000. And now our goal is to ensure that we sell the warranty. But the warranty, the customer cannot see the value now, but the value comes in 2-3 years later when the product broke down. And if you could see right now, nowadays, in reset time right now, any part of electronics or any part of that has to be washing system right now, their lifespan is maybe 2 or 3 years. Even though our phone, for example, a lot of contractors right now sell phones for every 2 years renewal. And again, you have to actually build a business case, like a case study, to back that up on what you've saying, on a way that, hey, this has been a good way for a customer to save money at the long run, which what you've already purchased, because it's very difficult for someone to spend extra $1 or $2 after they already purchased their physical product, or you want to sell additional service to them. So it's by letting them understand what is in there for them and what will be the future savings, should in case if that product should break down in the nearest future or anything like that.
But you know that,
Really answer your question.
but you know that sometimes when you pick up the phone to call somebody, the first 10 seconds matter if the person is still going to continue the conversation, because whenever you call someone, the first thing is, okay, what do you want? Especially if you're a decision maker. It's different from when you're calling the company's reception, because the receptionist can always answer. But when you're trying to get in touch with the decision maker, do you think that it's better to ensure, like you said, make your research? So rather than you going through the customer care, which is the receptionist, down to the managing director or whoever, is it better to just have the person's contact? And if yes, what is the first few words you're going to say to ensure the person gets glued to the conversation? I think we lost him. Okay, probably when he's back. If you're back, Amos, we would love to have you back on the conversation. But Antonio, so what do you think about what he said? So he said that you should do your research. And based on the fact that we know that LinkedIn gives you a lot of information about people, how can people get this kind of information they're seeking through LinkedIn?
Doing your research, the best tool to utilize is Sales Navigator. Having the free version of LinkedIn, you would get some information, but it will be minimum information. Sales Navigator, for some people, they may say it's costly, but think about how many clients that you could close when you have Sales Navigator. For example, in a nutshell, what Sales Navigator gives you? It gives you infinite information. It gives you information to know who are the decision makers. So you will go and search for a company and you may see 100 employees, but Sales Navigator actually put it specifically to you that it has 10 decision makers that you could reach out to. That's one. Sales Navigator gives you also the company size that you may want to prospect to. If it's 1 to 50, 50 to 100, 200 to 500, it gives you the persona of persons who might be the decision makers. Are they persons who are kind, like to ask a lot of questions, arrogant? Also, it gives you information as to if the company is always in the news, or is it that they achieve a milestone that's something that you could maybe have a conversation when you have the cold call. You could maybe say congratulations, so forth, start the conversation there, and then enter into exactly what it is that you are trying to present to them, right? It gives you a funnel with leads that they recommend to you, and so many much more, but I'm just trying to give you an idea.
Okay.
In the first 10 seconds, it is important to really captivate your prospect. How you could go about captivating your prospect is by being transparent and real with them, letting them know, good day, Mr. Prospect or Miss Prospect. My name is so-so. I represent so-so company. Always say your full name and what company you represent. I have something that I believe is beneficial to you based on the research that I did on behalf of your based on the research that I did on your company, and also as you as an individual. Just give me 5 minutes of your time. Is that okay? Always ask for permission. They say okay, and then you go on and you present. But preparation is key, because if you do not prepare yourself with the necessary information while it is that you are in the cold call, you may not make sense to the prospect, and they would be not inclined to even want to have a further conversation with you. So in a cold call, the most important thing of your cold call is preparing and always have a script, because the idea is to be articulate and not to sound robotic. A script will help you so that you could be articulate, and also that you could ask the necessary questions, because a lot of persons don't understand that selling is questioning. When you ask the right questions, you'll be able to get the right responses that you could be able to provide the right solutions.
Interesting. Thank you for that. I hope a lot of us got it. And if you think you're getting value, please let's see the love emoji. If you're getting value, let's see the love emoji so that we know that you're following. Thank you, Beauty. Thank you, Amos. Thank you, Amos, for that beautiful contribution. Thank you, Eddie. Thank you, Fomi, Glory, Shunab, Omosai. Awesome. Thank you so much. Let's have Sam. Then we move on to Ibrahim. Hello, Sam.
Good afternoon.
Awesome.
my
Good
country.
afternoon. Where is your country?
I'm calling. Okay, and this is a call.
Well, we can just make it a call then.
No. Okay, so this is. I'm in Lagos, Nigeria, right now, and it's a bit sunny in Lagos here.
Okay. Okay, interesting. So what's your contribution for us today?
First, I want to say amazing. I've learned a lot, from everyone that spoke. It's really good to be here, and well done for the wonderful thing you're doing. 'Cause it's great to be in this space, and you're doing
you.
amazing work. Thank you a lot.
Thank you.
So, I have few things I've learned. Then this I think, because I just finished cold calling probably like 1 hour ago. Like called like 20 people. I was selling a product, interesting. Then my friend was the one that sent me this thing that's happening now. Like, Sam, could you join this one? I like, okay, and it's very interesting. So, but let me start with the right foundation, because I close sales and it's really amazing. So let me start with my own foundation, how I do my strategy and what works for me. So my foundation is, first, I pray. I pray a lot. I get the foundation about it. I pray, oh, today I'm going to make sales. I say it in the prayer, like in form of affirmation prayer. I say it a lot to reprogram myself that this is possible. And I have that mental possibility. My mind is set for that. Then I have affirmation sales. I read it out loud. Sometimes I dance doing it for like maybe 30 minutes or 20 minutes. I just read affirmation for sales. I'm the best salesman ever. And everybody I call I'm gonna transfer a positive energy to the person. I just have amazing affirmations I write about sales. Then second is I call, and I tell. Sometimes I get rejection, but some of my affirmations is, for every rejection I get, it's not, the person is not saying no to me, it's just not in the best mood. I'll give the person a little bit time and try again. I just say this affirmation. So once I get that hit, I don't interpret it like, oh, this person is having problem with the product. I just give the person a little time and try again. So having laid these foundations, let's move a little bit, because most of the sales happen on the internet.
Sorry, Sam. Just give me a minute. I'd like to ask you, Antonio, do you still have a little bit of time to continue with us so that we know when to let you go?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, great. Continue, Sam. Thank you.
Okay, please just let me know how long I have so that I don't just...
Let's say, because you're a sales expert and we also want to learn, we can give you like 3 minutes.
Oh, thank you. Oh, that's a lot. So let's go to the internet space. So social, like somebody was saying that the markets, because sometimes I get sales from the US, from Australia, from now I'm trying to even establish more sales. So somebody was saying, because of where we are, because I think the other way around, I think we have more opportunities right now with the AI technology. We have ability for it to go and write with ChatGPT and speak the right language, because selling is about speaking, talking the right thing. Because what we're doing now, we're having conversations, right? And when we speak words, we intend to make somebody react. So once you speak the right word, the person reacts. And I sell by not selling. That's how I sell. Most times I go into selling because I go into my audience or my ICP DM with the perspective of not selling, but how to add value. I just closed one over the weekend, And this amazing lady is working on an amazing project, and I didn't come to sell. I really wanted to contribute, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to help in this aspect of the project. And she was so happy. And the next is like, come up with how you going to do this, you handle this, whatever you need, say it. I mean, I already have that space to shoot. Now, that's one. Then go into the US market, because at one time I was trying to crack into the markets, but I know that most times, because of the part of the country you are, some persons think different, other persons think different. So my friend is in the US. I told him, let's collaborate together, you know what I'm saying? So you be the face in the US. I carved out a market niche. Some businesses want to save money. They want to save money. So I carved out a market niche. I told him, okay, be the face in the US. I'll walk through you, be there, we're going to have a presence in the US, but we'll get the projects from the US and do it from Nigeria here. And it was a good deal. In how many months? We did a couple of projects. Every business targeting them were speaking a language. Hey, we'll help you save costs in this area of your business. We'll help you save the running, reduced cost of expenditure, cost of running business, and help you improve revenue. And it's like, how we'll cut down your expenses and we'll still deliver the same quality that you want. And some like, oh, I'm interested, and we're able to sign some deal. And my friend, because he's in the US there, he was the one for the face of the brand. At the end of the day, I paid him, I paid the people in Nigeria, and I paid myself, thank God, Then other aspects of me, sorry, it's just over there because of my time. Other aspect is the comment sections. There was amazing sale I closed I formed a relationship with a business in Australia. It was on the comment section on Instagram. People were just saying different kind of stuff. I was saying stuff that made sense, and we connected. So there's a lot of sales in the comment sections. If only we could take out time and just connect with people. They're really amazing people, and that's where you meet the real people in the comment section. But it's a bit taxing. And there's also on Twitter, like the way we're having this event here. I go to Twitter space we're having real conversations, and you're contributing. And in that space, people are reaching out to you on like, oh, you said this and you said that. How can you do this? So those are just my latest strategy. But I know you have questions for me, so that I can probably say, oh, this is it or this is that. So I'll stop here and just maybe you want to ask me questions. Anybody want to ask me questions?
Yeah. That's really good. Now, regarding what you said, the affirmation part, I think it's really beautiful. And then pray so that you can be very sure of yourself, because I know a lot of times, a lot of us are always having doubts. I personally sometimes have doubt that, okay, how will I do this? How will I do that? Well, I think that part of affirmation will really work. So when you have a lot of us, or I don't know about other people, but sometimes I sort of feel like a lot of people are doing what I do. And you know what you said about the comment section. I've tried it out. But then, because you know what we said about you trying to have a basis of conversation, which is also part of why it's important to put out content. Because what if you want to start a conversation with somebody and you go to their profile, try to check what thing they have so that you can be able to find a link to connect, and they don't have a content to post, you don't know what to say. How do you build that kind of relationship? That's question one. So from the comment section, like you mentioned, how do you find the basis of conversation? And how do you try to take the mindset of, oh, everybody is doing what I'm doing. How am I sure that this person has not been approached before? How am I sure that whatever service it is that I want to render to this person have not done it? How do you know that?
Okay, thank you. It's really amazing question. So the first one is, like I said, I sell like I don't sell. Everybody speak one language. We speak love. We speak kindness. We speak compassion. I mean, I speak those languages. I don't need to know what you're selling or what you are about, who you are, but I speak language that you connect to. All of us here speak one language: love, kindness, compassion. So I go into your DM speaking that kind of language, and I'm not even speaking sales. Then we start having conversations. Sometimes you get to like, oh, I'm going through divorce now. And probably that's a vice president of a brand. And you guys like, oh, I'm going through this. Oh, my kids are not knocking me off. And that's how the conversation starts. So sometimes, most times I don't even know who these people are. But I speak a language. I speak a love language. I speak a kindness language. I speak a compassion language. Can just end up like, oh, this person is sensible. I want to. And you start having conversations and people start opening up and they're like, oh, I can do this. And like that, sales happen for me. Then the other question you asked, I don't know if this is okay for you.
Yeah, this is good. Thank you.
Okay, the other one you asked is just please, because I wasn't clear on it a little.
Yeah, I was saying that how do you have the mindset of, okay, even though people are into what I do, I'm still going to sell regardless. And how do you take off that mindset of, okay, even if whatever it is that I'm selling, this person has it already, or this person has been sold the same service to, how do you take that mindset off and still sell regardless?
Okay, first, because I know that, like me, I see myself, I buy things value. The market will pay for value. And whatever you interpret, that's what it is, So when I'm going out to sell online, I sold today, I'm going to sell tomorrow.
What do you sell, by the way? Okay, yeah. What is it? What you said about helping people reduce cost?
Yeah, I sell. I'm like sales head for 3 brands right now. I'm their sales.
So Sam is your go-to guy if you need someone. So I'm just giving you a free ad. Sam over.
Thank you so much. That's like $1,000. So okay. So when I go out there, like first of all, I prep myself with because energy radiates whether you're online or offline. So a lot of people have been sold, but the thing is, how do you come into the DM? How do you talk to these people? So most of them, I'm coming to them like the one time I was selling a site for a company, and most of them people have called them to, sell the site for them. Like, oh, I want to design a website for you. So what do? I told my team, hey, this is like a free gig now for people selling sites. I told my guys, ChatGPT is amazing stuff. This is what we're going to tell these guys. Hey, we're going to design a site for you. You don't worry about the content. We are going to generate everything you need.
I wish I could get that offer.
Can I continue?
Yeah, please go ahead. I just want to that.
Okay. Hope I'm not saying too much.
No. Go ahead. People are getting free advice here. So please go ahead.
Okay. I told the owner because I was reaching out to all the hospitals in Abuja. So at some point I called them. I'm like, I see how these guys, some of them are laid back. They don't even know how to write about their hospitals. I'm like, okay, if I take this thing off these guys, they want to pay, right? Interesting. I closed how many sales last year on designing sites for hospitals? I told them, hey, I'm going to design your site for you. Content free, 2 blogs. Don't worry about it. I mean, ChatGPT, just go to ChatGPT. I told you, oh, that's a lovely girlfriend. She tells you everything. So please, you guys should use a lot of ChatGPT. ChatGPT just tells you, oh, this, and some of these guys don't even know. And you arrange it, you edit it too, you edit all of that, and ChatGPT present kind of like, I'm okay. Oh, take money and do this. Take money and do that.
Sorry, may I ask a question in between? I've heard a lot of people say that in trying to market your service, trying to go the free route sometimes is not advisable. What do you have to say about that? For example, what you just said about you said, oh, I'm going to help you design something for free.
Oh, for me, I think the other way around. The best of the things that I've gotten came me like not even positioning for money. Like, no. The money is important, very important. I mean, I know money, I know dollars, I know, money is important, but I don't put it like, oh, I put you first. I put humanity first. Like, you're a human being, let's connect. I can still be valuable to you, while we're still working to the money. So the person knows that, oh, this person is not coming to take, it's coming to add. So that's the picture I paint, and that's what it is about. There's no how you're going to come into my DM and talk to me right now, connect that. You will not get value. So that's how I'm wired. You can't talk to me and not get value. Am I being distracted?
Please go ahead. Person has muted himself.
Okay, so that's that. If you come into my DM, I would give you value. I would do something. I would refer you to somewhere that's good. I would just do something that you know that, oh, okay, this guy cares about me, not about money. Money is important for me, but I care about you. I care about your business, because if your business is losing, if you pay me one time, how am I going to make money the other time?
Okay, nice. Thank you. Thank you so much for that, Sam. I'm definitely going to be your dear. So even if we're all with Sam, please just go ahead to connect with Sam, and I'm sure that you're going to get more value or something else. So moving on to Ibrahim. Hi, Ibrahim. How are you?
Hola, hi everyone. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How's the day going?
Oh, so far so good. We thank God. It's sunny here, just like what Sam said. I'm also based in Lagos State, Nigeria, so it's very, very sunny.
So that means you're having a chilled bottle of Coke.
Seriously.
Also, thank you. So what do you have for us today? Do you want to contribute? Do you want to ask a question?
Yeah, I want to contribute to what we have been discussing so far.
Okay, please, Trent.
Personally, I'm a sales coach and I'm a sales closer. And so far, I've been on LinkedIn for the past 8 months. And when these 8 months, I've been able to talk to different people, different freelancers, and different business owners. And one major problem I discover is this: they don't understand what sales is all about. Sales itself is a skill. Just like whatever skill you have to understand sales also. There are some ways you are supposed to close your sales. Sometimes when I get in some people's DM and trying to find out what's up with their business and the likes, they will tell me, oh, I lose so deal. And if I ask them, how did you do it? I notice that these are deals that they are supposed to close, but they are unable to close these deals because they don't understand the psychology behind sales itself. They don't understand that sales itself is a skill they are supposed to learn. They believe that, oh, this is my business. I'm very, very good at freelancing. I'm good at copywriting, web design. So I know my business in and out. Anybody that comes, I know what to say and how to explain my business. But does it work that way? Absolutely no. It doesn't work that way. So if you know that on this LinkedIn, you want to close more sales, or generally, whatsoever social media platform you're using, you want to be an expert and you want to continue closing sales, try to learn more about sales itself. You can go on YouTube, watch some sales video if you can't pay for some mentorship. Go on YouTube and watch some videos. Sales itself, it has some process that you are supposed to follow. Understand the human psychology behind sales closing. If you can do all these things, you would see that whatsoever you are closing presently is going to skyrocket. Whatsoever you are closing at the moment, you would see that when you had this sales closing skill to your business, you are going to see the significant improvement in it. That's the first thing I'm going to be talking about. Secondly, I think it was Frederick you were talking to, and you were asking him about how he generates clients. Am I correct?
Yes, please.
All right. Aside from networking, code DMs, and the likes, also try to explore the option of appointment setters. With the help of appointment setters, you don't have anything to do. The appointment setters are the ones that are going to do all this rough work for you. At the end of the day, they would bring the leads they generate to you. And in some cases, the appointment setters are also sales closers. So automatically, they are going to get the leads, they are going to close them and just bring them to you. Though they work, some of them, they work on commission basis, while some of them, they work on contract basis. That's left over to you to know how to negotiate.
Interesting. Okay.
So you should know how to leverage these people. This is going to give you more opportunity for you to focus on your sales. This is going to give you more opportunity for you to focus on your business instead of you focusing on how to generate leads. The issue of generating leads would be eradicated because you have someone that is doing that work for you. that is their own area of specialization. They are trained to do it. They know how to do it better than you.
Interesting. Okay. Any last lead tip for the day?
I think that's the 2 cents I want to input. Maybe you have any question for me before I go.
No, I don't actually, because it was straight to the point. Thank you so much, Ibrahim. And I learned from you that you need to learn how to close deals. So if a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of business owners, we have a lot of things to worry about, but sales is the main thing. So learn how to close your sales, try to use appointment setters, and be on top of your game. So moving on to you, Antonio, before we close the event for today, a lot of people on this call are also sales professionals, but when it comes to branding now, talking about the branding side, because I know we have branding, marketing, sales, different departments, how do you think that branding for sales professionals, do you think that is necessary, or do you think that, they can just continue whatever sales they are doing offline and not necessarily having a brand of their own?
Okay, great question. A sales professional is someone who is number one in any company. Reason being, the sales professional pays everybody in the company because based on the sales that he or she generates, it pays the accountant, the human resource, and so forth. Branding is important because at the end of the day, the way how it is that you carry about yourself virtually and in person is your personal brand. So a sales professional has to be an all-rounder. It's not just about communicating with someone, telling them kind stuff. It's about being strategic. Because if you go to a company, let's say in oil and gas or a tech company, you have to provide certain strategic points that they could be able to understand how it is that you could effectively help them. And that is where preparation comes in. I think that what sales professional has to do is to prepare more than anything. When I go in to do a training session, I take approximately 1 week to prepare because my training session is very informative and also fun. And that is where your brand comes in. So your brand has to be virtually and in person. A sales professional job is so crucial, and the traditional sales professional may not be as successful as the modern day sales professional. So some people may focus on one social media platform. I focus on all. Reason being, it's free. It's a reason why it's free. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, and LinkedIn. What I do to not overwhelm myself is repurpose my content. I'm not just focusing on providing training to persons within my country, but to the entire world. I do not consider myself Caribbean renowned. I consider myself internationally renowned. So branding is important. And when you put out content on all these platforms, when you step foot out of your door and go outside, people watch you as an influencer, as someone to look up to, as a brand. So branding is extremely important.
So given a ratio of a 10, what would you say that people should, in terms of branding, should people do a 10 over 10 of branding online, or maybe give it a ratio of 5 online and then 5 offline in terms of having physical connections, or they should give their online attention 8%, 8 over 10, and then their offline interactions 2 over 10? What do you say?
Anything that you are doing, it should be 10 out of 10. As a sales professional, it may sound harsh, but if it is that you do not have a book under your name that you're not providing to the entire world, then after you are not a true sales professional. If you do not have a podcast that is out there, inspiring others, educating others, you are not a true sales professional. You have to be an all-rounder. And when it is that you leave that legacy, it's not that you was a great sales professional in one company, but you are a great sales professional anywhere you go. The way how you dress, the way how you speak, your appearance, it's supposed to be all around. So never just stop at a 5 always aim for 10. So, for example, myself, not bragging, but I focus on everything, right? I recently wrote my book, How to Make Money on LinkedIn, and every year I'm going to write a book because I cannot consider myself a true sales professional. Do not have a podcast, not on YouTube, don't have a YouTube channel, and not putting out content out there, not traveling, speaking at different events and so forth. So 10 out of 10 in everything that you do. You just have to go at it fully and consistently work. That's the name of the game.
Okay. Last question for me before I allow other people contribute is now for sales professionals, what you said about people bringing themselves out there. There are a lot of sales professionals that are not entrepreneurs or they are not business owners. They have people they work for. That means they work in an organization. And I see this, a lot of people also have this challenge because if you have a 9 to 5, you're very dedicated to your job in the office. How can you start to build your own brand separately from the organization? You can also build your brand even when you're working with the organization. But that time of trying to find the time to do audio events, trying to find the time to write a book, how can people break this challenge and get yourself into the game?
The thing about it is that when you finish work, right, you're 8 to 5 or 8 to 4, you're 9 to 5. And you consider yourself a sales professional, you not really going home to play. Yes, you will have your spouse, your kids, so forth, but you find that time because sales don't end just working for a company. To be a true sales professional, you will start off at an SDR position, then you may go up to an account executive, sales manager. And when you reach that level and maybe director of sales, you want to propel yourself further. So after work, yes, you spend time with the kids and so forth, but you find that time because at the end of the day, you want to leave a legacy. I'm not sure how everyone look at sales, but I look at sales as a profession that helps me to really know myself, to really help persons, and also to earn an income as well, and an unlimited income, right? And I would say that on a Saturday and a Sunday, when everyone wants to go a party or go sports or something so forth, I find that time to work on me, because the whole idea of working is to understand the operations and functionality of a company, get that knowledge base, and take that knowledge base and create opportunities so that you could create generational wealth. Because as Black people, African people, people within the Caribbean, we have to understand that opportunities don't come our way. We have to create it. And if it is we want to leave legacies, we have to think not just mediocrity, but we have to think more abundantly. We have to think that we could do much more. And that is something that, I see a lot of persons sell themselves short. They think that they can't do this, they can't do that. I never thought I could lecture at a university. Not 1, not 2, but going on to 3. I never thought Lincoln Empire State Building, New York, would invite me to come there to talk about the Caribbean. I never thought I would have worked in LG Electronics as the key account manager for the entire Caribbean. I never thought all these things are possible. I never thought I'd be able to write a book. And I was able to do all this, but it's your mindset. That's why we have to change our mindset. And when we change our mindset, we could do anything. Money is sometimes not even a problem because sometimes when you're making money, you tend to do things for free to other people who may not have because the money is coming, So the whole idea at the end of the day, and I want to leave everyone with, is that have an open mindset and not closed mindset. Don't think about working for a company for years and years and feel that you are the director or so be it. You could never make true wealth working for an organization. You have to work for yourself eventually.
Interesting. Thank you so much for that. Let me just go to the audience. And I remembered I said you're going to give us 5 tips to know how to sell. I'm going to ask you that in a minute and then we'll take the people on the call. But I just want to say a big thank you to Glory for me. They've been taking the front seats and they've been here all through Loa Share on Front Brand. Thank you so much. I have only Oni, I don't know if I got your name right. Onmara, you were supposed to speak earlier, but you left, so we'll be happy to have you back. Thank you, Adini. Thank you, Luke. Thank you, everybody. And if you would like us to have just 20 minutes extra to have these people that are on the call speak, let's see you with a love emoji so we'll know that you are not disconnected from the call. So if you want to give us extra 20 minutes, please use the love emoji. Thank you, Beauty. Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you, Rachel. Thank you, Akin Talbi. Ye Aka Talbi. Priscilla Bayemi, I see you. Thank you, Ekene. Marvelous Bernice. Thank you so much. So let me hear your 5 tips, Antonio, on how to sell.
My 5 tips on how to sell is to connect, build relationships, be kind, have strategic approaches, and consistently follow up with your prospect, because it takes 5 to 6 or sometimes 7 follow-ups in order to close the sale.
Awesome. Please, can you repeat that one more time so people can take notes?
I can't remember.
Okay, you said connect, build relationships, follow up.
Right. Connect, relationships, follow up, strategic approaches, and something else, because I'm multitasking.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, we'll be running up in a few minutes, everyone. And once again, if you're just joining the conversation, my name is Damilola Badmas, and I've been your host so far. We also have our guest here, Antonio Prescott, who is a B2B sales marketing and LinkedIn coach. So if you want to know how to build your brand, make sales on LinkedIn, he is your go-to guy, and he's a big fan of LinkedIn Sales Navigator because it says that it helps you to know who are the right people you are to be speaking with. Also, I help corporate and personal brands build a strong presence on LinkedIn and beyond, and through content creation. So if you want to start building your brand, having interesting conversations like this, knowing how to anchor events, knowing how to repurpose your content, and we go to person, and I'm going to be having, I'm sharing this on this platform for the first time. I'm going to be having a boot camp or a workshop. I've not decided the name to call it, which is going to be happening next month. And it's just to teach you how to do things like this, how to handle conversations, how to repurpose your content, how to write good content, and in turn, how to get your name out there. So it's been an amazing session so far. Thank you, everyone. And like I said earlier, if you want to replay this event has a replay. And if you want to enjoy, probably you joined us later or you're about to leave, you can have access to the event. Again, just ensure that you're connected or you're following me so you can get access to my newsletter. Alois, do you want to say anything?
Yes, hello team.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Alois Lawi from Kenya. I'm not having a question per se. I just want to make a comment. First to say thank you for this audio meeting in LinkedIn. Also to say thank you, secondly, for the kind of advice and talks that I've listened to. Then third is just to make you people know that I'm working with Britam Insurance. So for those who may need anything, feel free to inbox me, to contact me at Alois Lawes. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. We just sold himself. See, that's the part of selling. So thank you, Alois. It's been an amazing conversation, and my apologies, I wouldn't be able to take on more people because of our time. We've exceeded time, but I think it's worth it. Don't you think, guys? Have you had a good time so far? I mean, great energy to start a Monday, energy to start selling, energy to start picking up your phone to do cold calling without being afraid. And so let me just give a recap of all that we have said today. We spoke about selling, that sales doesn't happen overnight. It does not happen in the first message. You need to be visible. People want to buy from you, but they don't want to be sold to instantly. So you need to ensure that you take your time, build connection, build relationship before you sell. Also, B2B is based on ROI, and it's important for you to know who you are marketing to. Frederick also said that how he gets his own clients is through Facebook ads, referrals, attending events, networking, and also you need to have your website because Antonio said that sometimes relying heavily on social media to make sales might not be a great idea. So it's important to know how to distribute your content into different channels so that you don't get overwhelmed. Try to have your own website because your website is yours. And if anything happens, you know that you can always fall back to your website to save you. And then we have Amos also saying that cold calling is good as well. And ensuring that you have a good appearance wherever you go to can really break or mar you. So paying good attention to how you dress is very important. Know the right colors to wear, know how to carry yourself. And I think that when you dress well, you have a good charisma, you have that energy to want to sell yourself. So paying attention to how you dress is very vital. And also personal branding is key. Somebody also made mention that you need to do your research before calling a company. And then Antonio gave a scenario on how you can, he gave tips rather, on how you can make a cold call. And it says that you should use your full name, the company you work for. Try to prepare with the script so that you don't just get caught up and you forget your lines. So sometimes work with the script, and maybe when you're a pro, you might not need to have a script, but as a beginner or as an intermediate, it's just good to have a script that will back you up. Let them know how you can be of help. Let them know what you've learned about your company so far. Sam Over says that he prays and he uses affirmation for sales because you also need to have that psychology of knowing how people think. You also have to prepare yourself for the battle ahead so that you don't just get up in sadness or you don't just have emotional issues or you just don't feel like nobody likes you. So you need to prepare. So you have to pray, you have to use affirmation, say that I am worthy to be sold, I'm worthy to make sales, my business is worth it, I have good products or services, today is going to be a great day. And he also said that he gets his own clients, that's Sam Over as well. He said he gets his own clients from the comment section, from Twitter space, from events like this. And how he approached them is that he speaks love. So he says he used words of kindness just to break the gap and also to have a conversation. Ibrahim Malik also says that you need to learn how to close deals. Now, all of these, we didn't bring everything from heaven, so you need to learn it. If it's for you to buy a book, if it's for you to learn from YouTube, you need to know how to close deals because all of us, actually when you are a business person or you are an entrepreneur or you're someone that has his own business, we all know that you're the marketer, you're the sales rep, you're the PR guy, you're everything. So everybody needs to know how to make sales. If you're a man, you obviously have to sell yourself to get the girl's attention. If you are an employee, before you got that job, you had to sell yourself before the employer could take you or the HR. So we need to learn how to close deals. And he also says that if you think that you can't go through the stress of trying to close deals, then you should appoint what they call appointment setters or sales closers. I have a friend that he was trying to do a photography training and it cost about 6 figures, and he had to go through someone that was absolutely fantastic in sales closing. I spoke with him. He was trying to know the right fit for my friend's photography class and he did exceptionally well. So sales closers are also very important and also have an open mindset. And then Antonio finally gave his words and tips to know how to sell. You need to learn how to connect. You need to learn how to build relationships. You need to follow up because sales takes a lot of time, especially when you're dealing with B2B. You also have to have strategic approach. And then he made mention of the fact that personal branding is very, very important, whether you are doing a 9 to 5 or you're an entrepreneur or you are a professional. Building your brand is very key. And how do you build your brand? You start writing content online, because online presence is also very important. Write your own book, have your own podcast, have your own articles and things, videos, YouTube, if you have that. For example, for me, what I tend to do now is I try to repurpose my content. Normally, I would do LinkedIn audio events and then I'll do my podcast later. But now, what I'm doing at the moment, I'm recording using OBS Studios. And after I'm done with this, I'm going to edit this, post it on my Podbean that distributes everything. So this converts into a podcast. It's on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcast, and then YouTube now has a place for podcast as well. So rather than me trying to edit and post on YouTube formally, all I have to do is just put it on my Podbean and it drops on YouTube. So whatever channel, when anybody searches for the DFY show, it pops up on all platforms and I don't have to do too much. Also, in terms of building my brand, I wrote a book that was The Ultimate Guide. I've written like 2 books now. The Ultimate Guide to Building Your Personal Brand on LinkedIn. I did one that's I used PDF. I think I used Canva. I used Canva to edit one, had a lot of graphics, but then I wanted to take it to Amazon, so I had to convert everything back into Word. So now it's on Amazon. And so all of these things contribute to your online presence. Writing content on LinkedIn can also help you, because when people search for your name on Google, your name is obviously going to come out using your LinkedIn platform, and whatever content, whatever pictures that you have is going to go a long way. So if you search for my name now, you're going to see a lot of places that my name gets appear. So because I've written a book, obviously I have a link with Amazon. So when you search me, whatever content, which is my book, is going to come out. My YouTube channel is going to come out. Somebody has interviewed me. I think about 3 people has interviewed me now. So obviously those links are going to pop out. My podcast channel, that's the Podbean, is going to appear. Spotify is going to reflect. So all of these little activities, and it's not a one day, guys. It takes a lot of time to be able to do this. And one thing I know about personal branding is that you might not get to see the result now. It might come out to you later. I have a friend of mine who said that he wanted to apply for a grant, and they asked him that, okay, in order for you to apply for a grant, we need to see what you have done. So he does not have any social media presence, and he said he was working on a book, but because he does not put content online, because he has not done any events, so there is no how they can be able to track his online activities, which is why branding is very, very important. And if you want to learn how to use content to help create your brand or to help build your brand, please send me a DM as well. So finally, on to you, Antonio. Do you have any last words?
The last words that I have is that coming to sales, it's all about practice. As Tony Robbins said, what you practice in private, you'll be rewarded for in public. Role playing, practice. Cold calling, practice. Strategic outreach message, practice. Practice, practice, practice.
Awesome. Practice, practice, practice. There you have it, wonderful people. Thank you so much, Antonio. I mean, you've been fantastic. I love your energy. Thank you for listening. It was meant to be 1 hour, but you took your time. Thank you so much. And there you have it, wonderful people. My name is Damala Felicia Badmos. Don't forget to connect with other people after today's conversation. I'm going to be having another audio event either end of this week or next week. And this time around is going to be for digital marketing with Barbara. So don't forget that you can join the conversation. Ensure that you follow, click on the post notification so that you don't get to miss any of my updates. And that will be all from me today. Have a fantastic day, fantastic afternoon, fantastic evening, and I will speak to you soon. Bye for now, everybody.